Hello people and welcome to this other episode of the Techno Reviewer. Well, what have I got to say for you today? We've got the RK2020. This arrived in the mail. So, what is it? Do you remember the other retro console videos, retro handheld console videos I made a few weeks back? Well, the RK2020 is out. And what is it? Should we have a look at it? This is the Techno Reviewer, so roll the intro. Well, this is the console. Okay, so what have we got to say? What is this? Well, this is the RK2020. This is primarily sold on AliExpress, and it features an IPS display gaming console with all sorts of bells and whistles, and it should be able, and it claims to be able to play all the major consoles, all the major retro consoles. I'm not going to say all the major because that would sound a bit too far-fetched, but it does claim to be able to play games such as the PSP. It claims to emulate N64 along with normal PlayStation, but also Dreamcast, which could be quite interesting, really. So why don't we have a look at it? So here is the box. Let's do an unboxing. And before we start with the unboxing, I would like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. And if you've watched this channel before, and you have not subscribed, then please, I don't know, I'll probably put a link up there somewhere, or maybe up there, I'm not sure, probably here, it'll be or something, where you can subscribe to this channel. All subscribes are very much appreciated and will help my channel grow, along with maybe perhaps put a comment down here in the comment section below. And if you do like this video, then somewhere down here there's also a like button, and if you don't like it, well, a dislike button in that sense. So let's crack on with the unboxing. So here's the box, and already on the side it states that it's 4 retro games. It's got a 3.5mm headphone jack with built-in speaker, an IPS display, brightness and volume adjustments, and a rechargeable lithium polymer battery of 2600 milliamp hour. Also, it charges via USB Type-C. Before I open this, I would like to point out one thing. That one thing is that this already is a China clone to be able to play other games that aren't branded by this unnamed brand. But also the fact that this has cloned practically bit by everything. It's completely a clone from the Odroid Go Advance. And I know this because, well, I know someone that works for the Odroid. And when they showed me their console, they showed me that it was practically this one. I had already ordered this, and I thought that this was an amazing console. And yet I hadn't actually looked at the Odroid Go Advance, which I will do in the near future. And for the time being, well, unfortunately, this is what we have to open. So inside the box, we get the nicely packaged console. So we just put that to the side to see what else is inside the box. Lifting this tray reveals, well, it reveals that we've got nothing, just a little bag, some instructions. There's a USB cable, which is a USB Type-C, and one of these extremely cheap SD card. Oh, and there's a hair in it. Wow, this must be a gift from China. And it's actually stuck to the lid, so it is actually Chinese. Look at that. It is literally a hair. And it's, perhaps it's to make it dangle, I don't know. This is quite nasty. I'll probably just chuck that in the bin. So the instructions reveal that this console has many features, of which are Again, all written in Chinese. But as all of these consoles, if we turn them over, then we've got English. And there's an English user manual. So if you are interested in reading this, I'm just going to place that there and just pause the video and read it. But I'm assuming that everything is just as you'd expect. Load the games, copy the games over and whatnot. The only thing I know is that to exit games, you have to press start and select twice. That's to end the emulation. Well, that's the bits which we put to the side. Not interested in any of that. The cable, well, that's just a standard USB Type-C cable. Let's put the box there, that's quite nice. And we've got the console, which, okay, I have already switched this on. I have already unboxed this. As you know, all of the games that I test and I show and unbox, I do actually test them first. I play with them first because obviously I want to know whether it's good or not, because mine is just not just an unboxing but also a small review. And what I already have seen is that this was originally shipped with, how nice of them, some dust under the screen. It's nice when they give you extras, isn't it? So this is the console, and it has shoulder buttons which are not too bad. You've got your left and right shoulder buttons, R1 and R2, L1 and L2. We have our front D-pad, which it doesn't feel too bad. I do have to point out that there's also a the rubber cover for the joystick, which is also in the box, but I put that on, so I wasn't going to take this off to show you the unboxing. And but I didn't actually, I was actually genuinely surprised about the hair inside the game, the USB transfer cable thing, because genuinely I didn't need it, so I didn't open it, and that was just there, and then I've noticed this. So yeah, carrying on with this, we've got our select and start buttons. We've got our X, Y, A and B, which are, I do have to admit that they're not the greatest buttons. They don't feel the greatest. They feel a bit too raised. There's a bit too much travel, but it's not too bad. I'm not going to say that it's bad. It's not the greatest. The joystick, I have to admit that it's too much travel. It doesn't feel very nice at all. I think probably putting something like a the joysticks that were originally on the RG350 weren't very good, but then when they did the RG350M, the metal version, then that joystick was really nice, and actually had the R3 and L3 buttons inside the joystick, but this one doesn't have it. Also, we've got our power button at the top, and at the bottom there is a reset button, but I will give you this, it does not work. That button does not do absolutely anything. I've not been able to get it to work. I don't know what it does, and I am not sure why this is here. If I press it even now, it doesn't do absolutely anything, and this should be a reset button. I mean, it claims to be a reset button anyway. Our SD slot is at the bottom. At the back we've got nothing apart from this black translucent case, and you can see all the mess inside with double-sided tape. It tells you at the back what the various things are, and it tells you there TF stands for trans flash, which is actually a SD card. And then we've got the R button, R2 button, which is R1, anyway, L2, L button. Then we've got our power button. We've got our TV output, which is also an headphone jack for normal headphones, our USB Type-C, and a USB socket, which is just a full-size USB. The Odroid Go Advance also has pretty much the same layout, and I think what it does is that originally it had two USBs, but then the newer version did have a USB Type-C, so this one just basically went for the newer version and completely copied it. So let's power this thing on. Powering it on, we'll show you some LEDs at the back, and I do have to admit that this does not look good at all. I mean, you're playing the game, you want to know the status of it, you have to turn it over to see what it's doing. This is absolutely useless, by the way. And there you go, so that's powering on. It uses Open Elec and Emu Elec, and I do want to point out, I do want to show you something in fact. So if I press select and power it off, so shut down system, I'm just going to show you something again. If I power this on, look what it says, Odroid Go Advanced, right at the top. Did you see that? Did you see it up there? If you didn't, just go back a second and just have a look. It says, it actually blatantly says Odroid Go Advance. So it just shows that this is a copy. This shouldn't even be allowed. But then again, they're playing games, ROMs. And the idea is that if you're playing the ROMs on here, you have the games. I do have to tell you that the games that I will be showing you, I do have the actual games. In fact, I'm not going to be able to show you any games that I don't have, but it does have quite a big library. So what ROMs does it play? Well, Dreamcast. And then what's this? This is a PC game thing, is it? I'm not sure. I can't remember because I can't see the logo, but it's an arcade anyway. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, MAME, Nintendo 64, normal NES, and then there's the some ports of games, which some of them don't actually work. PSP, PlayStation, Residual VM, Scum VM. There's all those type of strange games. Yeah, that's the setup. Then Super Nintendo. And then it shows you all the games, then your favorites, and then it goes back to Dreamcast. So on this particular SD, there isn't many games. So as you place games inside the folders, the emulators will start to pop up onto the and populate the screen. Obviously, I didn't have that many, so I just put a few on there. So let's have a look at the Dreamcast. So the Dreamcast, as I said, I only have one ROM because it's the only game that I actually have. I don't even have the Dreamcast, but I do have this game, so I got the ROM. And there's people out there saying, oh, he's lying, it's not true, I want to see the game. No, I actually really do have this game. It's not the greatest, but it does work. Already the loading seems okay. You can see me. Wow. Go on. Yeah, it is it's quite responsive, to be honest. It doesn't play too bad, but it's the loading times. So let's go for a new game. As you can see, it does emulate the game pretty well. So I'm supposed to copy this, I think. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, as you can see, it's actually not too bad. So to exit this, it's start and select twice, and then exit the game. So as you could see, that was not too bad actually. It did actually play the game without too many problems, and in fact, it was quite smooth. So it did actually work. So let's go for the Nintendo 64, and I don't even know if I've got any of the games that are on here. Donkey Kong, Mario Kart. So yeah, I do have Mario Kart, so let's go for that. So again, the N64 so far, every console that claims that could emulate it so far has had some problems, and generally in the audio, as you can tell. But let's try anyway. Let's go for one game, one player. Go on. So let's go for, yeah, Mario one. Let's just go for standard, whatever it comes with. That's fine. Yeah.
One thing I noticed is that these buttons don't actually work in the games because of the N64 using the joystick. It makes you use the joystick here as well. So let's see. So it does kind of work, but the graphics isn't really good. Some of the polygons do tend to lose shape. So you've got different artifacts on the screen. See, every now and then you can see some artifacts, but not. See, these, for example, they don't look like they should be. It is playable, although I would have hoped for a bit more smoothness, and when there's a bit too much on the screen, the smoothness sort of disappears. So, yeah, it's playable, but not that playable. So the last one I want to show you is the PSP. Obviously, we know that the PlayStation is going to be emulated quite well because everyone can emulate it now. But the PSP is that new thing. And the game I want to show you here is... Oh, actually, there's only one game on here. Okay, let's go for this. So it tells you up there, and this one, it tells you the frame rate, and it says 30. 30, 31. I don't know if you can keep an eye on the frame rate. Okay, what? Oh, okay, the buttons are inverted on this game. I don't even know what I just wrote. Okay. It does actually run quite well on this particular scene. I mean, the frame rate is pretty good. It's a constant 30 frames. Doesn't seem to give problems. Although there's not much graphics, intense gameplay. But what I can tell you is that on this particular one, it's running the emulator PPSSPP. So if I click on that button there, it allows me to change different settings, and it also allows me to change save the save state. So if I do that, wrong button. Oh yeah, no, I did. So there's a save state now, so I can always load the save state. It's a bit of a cheat, but it's okay. And yeah, you've got different settings. You can change different things, and it allows you to do different things. This particular version seems to have the ability to be controlled with a mouse, so I'm wondering if it's a PC port, but it does seem to work, so it's not too bad. So exiting that, that was the PlayStation or PSP, sorry, PSP emulation. So as you can see from this particular video now, most of the emulation is done pretty well. It doesn't seem too bad. I mean, this console now has been out for a bit now, and I've only just had it 2 weeks ago, but I wanted to really play on it to make sure that I knew what I was talking about, and I can tell you a few things. Now, the console itself isn't expensive. You can buy one of these pretty cheap nowadays. I think they are roughly around 45 euros in Europe. Let's call it £45 or $45. It's roughly around that same sort of ballpark. It's not an expensive console. The display does look really nice anyway, so the display isn't to be at fault for anything, but it's plasticky, very plasticky. It feels extremely cheap. Why? Well, this is the first generation of this console, so what they did, they released a new one. Now, I will be making a second video, and will be uploading a second video, and I will be showing you why. But before I do that, I'm going to finish one more thing. There's a speaker there, which is very poorly placed, and it's not a very good speaker at all. Now, in some games, yeah, the volume was at maximum, it wasn't loud, and it's okay. So the volume is adjusted by pressing select and up during the gameplay anyway. So you press select and up or down, and you adjust the volume. But the speaker isn't very good. It's one of those very small phone speakers, and it's placed inside in a very awkward position, so that when you're playing on it, you kind of I tend to play like this, where I'm resting the console itself on my fingers so that I can hold it, because it's not something you can really hold like this. It's impossible considering you've got a joystick there and whatnot. So because of the build quality, the build of it is not the greatest. It has a few flaws, one of which is obviously the speaker, but the second one is that during gameplay this does get quite warm, and the processor is exactly in this place, right under the battery. This is a lithium polymer battery, and lithium polymer batteries are known to be volatile chemistry, so that if it gets too hot or too warm, it can bloat, and in the worst case scenario, it can catch fire. Look at Samsung. They had to recall thousands or millions of Galaxy Notes because of that problem. The battery was squashed inside a certain space, and as it started getting warm and hot, it just exploded. This can be the same, it can do the same, but it's not as bad because, I mean, it's not squashed in, so the battery should be okay. The other issue that I found with this is that it charges really bad. So this console does not charge unless it's powered on. So if you've got this console and you're thinking of charging this by leaving it on charge overnight, by switching it off, it won't charge. Unless this is on, it won't charge. The good news is that some of these issues have been fixed with this. I'm not going to be showing you this at the moment as such, but I want to show you just what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about, no, that's not the one. Wrong one, sorry. Let me grab the right one. And I was talking about this one. I accidentally picked up the wrong case. So, yeah, this was what the next revision. This is what will come out next. So the next video I will do is on this one. And let me tell you something. This is nice. This is actually really nice. It feels really, really good. And I don't know why. I think it's just the fact that it's aluminium, but they fixed a few things. So this one is the new revision, which is the metal version, and it's still the RK2020. The internals are just the same. It's just that this has just that bit more extra premium feel, which feels really nice, a bit of weight to it, and tends to have better features for some reason. I don't know why. I found that this plays games better. I'm not sure why. But yeah, they haven't sorted that out yet, and the overheating can be the same, but this at least charges whilst powered off. I will do another video on this, so be sure to check my videos soon when I will be reviewing this one, and I will do a sort of an unboxing, although it's the same as that one anyway. And this, oh wow, well, that's that. So this has been the Techno Reviewer, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, if you did, if you're not subscribed, then you need to subscribe. I'm not sure why you don't subscribe. And let me just switch to my other to the other view, because I want to speak to you in person. And now that I have your attention, why I wanted to speak to you in person is because of, well, right, this. Yeah. This box has been sitting on here since the beginning of this year, and I don't know what's inside.
I really want to know what's inside. Someone in the comments a few weeks back asked what was inside the box, and I did answer by saying that when I get to 1,000 subscribers that I would reveal the content. Obviously, to prepare the video, I wanted to see what's inside the box. I don't know myself, so I went to open it and I can't. So is this a curse? Well, if it is, let's try and lift this by you subscribing. Help me out to find out what's inside this box, and as a result I will make a video on that. Well, for this has been the Techno Reviewer, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So I'm signing out.